Hello and welcome to the fourth in 5 short videos going under the bonnet and explaining how it all works here at Northwest Care Co-Operative. And in this short video, we're going to pick up on the fourth of those bullet points, which is the daily care record. So the daily care record is a regulatory requirement, and the CQC requires every provider of services to support people in social care to record on a daily basis the care and support that they provide to their clients, or in our case, principal members. Normally in a care home, you can imagine it as a book by the bed where if somebody goes in and feeds a client or changes their bed or does something to support them, then they'll record an entry of what they've done in that book. And of course, within the context of a care home where you've got other staff around sort of checking who are able to kind of oversee all this kind of activity, you've got a fairly good record of what goes on, and things can be monitored by the other staff in the home. In terms of the domiciliary care context, and we are registered as a domiciliary care provider where our personal assistants go and visit people in their homes and take them out in their community, then we need a slightly more kind of agile way of recording that allows us to record stuff as it's happening in the community or in people's homes. And it also needs to be accessible to me and as the registered manager in the centre, rather than require me, if you like, to go around to 30 or odd homes around the Northwest and look at a book that records their care. And so we do that through a means known as the daily app, or the daily record of care, which we use on an app. So what happens, and I'll kind of share you, the app can be downloaded onto a mobile phone or a smartphone. It looks a little bit like this. This is it sort of shown on my kind of computer, and that's how it would look on a mobile phone. And what the app allows you to do, if you're a personal assistant, is to record the support that you provided to your principal member, and for that record to be electronically communicated immediately back to me in the centre where I can look at that information. So it's pretty simple to fill in. I'm not going to click on any of the drop-down menus here because I'll reveal people's names and identities, and we want to obviously keep that anonymized here on the website. But essentially, you've got a drop-down menu, so you click on this little arrow here and it gives you a list of all our principal members. So if you're supporting a particular principal member, you look for the name, drop-down menu, and put that in. Likewise for all our personal assistants, so you find your own name in that. And then a little bit further down, you've got the date. It's always set to today's date, so that's automatically done for you. But if actually you're recording something that you did yesterday but forgot to record for some reason, then you can click on this little date calendar sort of thing here, icon here, and it shows you a kind of calendar that you can then, there we go, that you can then pick the date that you want to use. Likewise, click your start time, drop down menus giving you the hours, the minutes, and whether it's AM or PM. So click whichever is appropriate for you. And then you go down to mileage. We pay mileage for any support taking a client or principal member out somewhere. So you put in the mileage that you might have used on your particular visit, and that will be recorded. Talk about the photo in a moment. Finish time, same detail as before, hours, minutes as drop-down menus, AM or PM. And then critically, on this browse files item here, if you click on that, it will take you through to your photograph section on your smartphone, and you can record and upload a photograph of the activity that you're doing with our principal member. It's very much principal member's choice. We obviously can't and don't insist on that, but we do value that, because if, for example, you're doing an activity with your principal member, I know you're cooking, doing some batch cooking in the kitchen, for example, then the photograph shows the photograph obviously corresponds with the activity that you're describing in the record, and we can actually see from the activity whether it's being some sort of measures around the quality. We can get a feeling of whether the principal member looks happy doing it or sad, and you might even be able to spot whether there's anything that you'd be worried about in terms of, you know, hygiene control or health and safety in the way it's being conducted. So a photograph's really useful, kind of paints 1,000 words, and we do encourage people to upload a photograph if they can. And then finally, in this free text box here, just a quick entry, which is exactly what you would put in the book by the bedside, where you outline what the support is that you provided. And once you've done on that, click on the submit button, and you get a message that comes up that says, thank you, your submission has been accepted, with a big tick box, and the whole thing is then sent off to me at the centre, and we're able to real-time kind of record or have a real-time record of the daily care and support that's being provided. And it comes into me electronically, it comes into me in a kind of secure shared drive area, and is presented as a spreadsheet that looks a little bit like this. And this is a kind of anonymized version of the spreadsheet. So I've taken out the principal members' names and personal assistant names, which would normally be shown here. But what you've got, obviously, the date it was submitted, a quick description of the activity, principal member who it's for, the personal assistant who it's for, again, the date shown again, and then the start time, finish time, the number of hours claimed, which again is replicated for purposes of making it easier to calculate, the mileage claimed, and then you've got the various photographs that have been taken of that event. And obviously this spreadsheet builds every month. It's great when it comes to payroll time for working out who supported who with so many hours and mileage and all the rest of it, and you can use these filters on it to cut and slice it into individual principal members and personal assistants and all the rest of it, and it provides a really detailed record of all the support that has been provided. And we use that then to calculate the number of hours that we're billing people for, and the amount of mileage and so on, and it's a great sort of ongoing record. So that's the daily care and support record. It's how we record it here in Northwest Care Co-Operative. It means that despite the fact that we're not, kind of going into somebody's bedroom in a care home and recording by the bed, we are still getting a real-time and accurate description of what's gone on that day, and often a photograph to support it, which, as I say, paints 1,000 words and makes it really useful. So that's pretty much everything on this video. The next video will have a quick look at our operating cycle and tell you more about that. Thank you.